Was Rasheeda finally able to say, boy, bye, after years of infidelity, secret babies, and general bullshit? More importantly, how could Kirk go from managing a whole empire to losing it all in an instant? Rasheeda isn't only walking. This is real life, and it's not your usual love and hip-hop drama. All the specifics of Kirk's terrible divorce and the reasons he might never move on were revealed to us in July. So, have some tea, grab some popcorn, and stay watching because this is going to happen. The money, the property, and possibly Kirk's last hair follicle are all being taken by her. Moreover, reports of leaked documents and dishonest insiders are circulating the streets. The worst thing is that Kirk Frost caused it to happen to himself, and his entire empire is imploding in real time. Indeed, this is the most ludicrous celebrity split of the year, and it involves the same man who spent years deceiving and manipulating others. I promise you won't look at Kirk the same after hearing what Russ just did. Has been treated disrespectfully and now appears lost, broke, and desperate. Well, sis, she chose to use violence after she eventually woke up. This is her most powerful move to date, and she's completed playing ride or die. However, how did we end up here? How did Kirk move from managing Rasheeda's profession to handling her financial account in secret? Rasheeda's and Kirk's relationship has been difficult for despite the passing of years, she constantly drew him back. Remember the utter bullshit he inflicted on this woman on national television when he wanted a DNA test for their child and accused Rasheeda of cheating? Kirk has been at fault for nearly 2 decades, if we're keeping track, from the cheating scandals to Kirk, who has a full secret baby with a side chick, has never been faithful to anyone but himself. Despite this, he has managed to keep Rasheeda in a chokehold while justifying his foolishness and remaining by his side. However, Russ is done now that she isn't simply upset this time, so let's go over everything in detail for those who don't know about the relationship between Kirk Frost and Rasheeda. With Kirk as the manager and Rasheeda as the artist, they started out as a power couple in Atlanta. They created a whole brand together, but if you've been paying attention, you'll notice that Kirk wasn't really managing Rasheeda. Instead, he was responsible for her entire career, signing contracts, handling money, and making all business decisions. And guess what? The majority of it's lawfully. Rasheeda doesn't have as much power over her empire as she thought because it wasn't even in her name. Yes, Kirk had everything under his name. Despite everything that has happened with Jasmine Washington, you still recall the lady who suddenly CL claimed Kirk was her baby daddy. It's worth noting that Kirk vehemently denied having the child until the DNA test indicated that he did, but Rasheeda stayed. But this is where Kirk really messed up since, while lying and cheating are immoral, playing with Rasheeda for financial gain is a death sentence. Utilizing their money in a strategic, long-term manner. Kirk operated in the background, making dubious investments and moving money behind Rasheeda's back while she was out there putting in a lot of effort, producing music, building stores, and obtaining sponsorships. Rumor has it that Kirk had been secretly moving funds from their companies into Rasheeda's personal accounts, and he was purportedly utilizing the cash to sustain another woman's lifestyle. You read correctly. Rasheeda's game was done when she eventually understood that this man was using her hard-earned money to buy another lady. Sources say that when Rasheeda discovered some anomalies in their financial records a few months ago, indicating that money was disappearing from their partnership, the entire situation started to unravel. The assets she thought she owned were in Kirk's name, and the account bills didn't add up. Rasheeda is not a fool, as you are all aware. After she started investigating, she soon found the invoices. Kirk allegedly lied when Rasheeda confronted him about the missing money, asking, "Sir, do you really think you can finesse an entrepreneur using her money?" But the worst part is that Rasheeda supposedly found out Kirk was starting a new business without telling her. Reports state that Kirk had been planning to launch a brand new company behind Rasheeda's back, one that he owned all of and in which she had no ownership interest. Additionally, he seemed to want to move a large portion of their assets into his new business. Tell me how that sounds now. That's right, Kirk was trying to secure his money and assets before Rasheeda sued him to carry out a divorce escape plan. Kirk was unaware, though, that Rasheeda had also been making plans. When Sis saw that Kirk was acting suspiciously, she didn't waste any time in taking action of her own. She initially engaged a renowned divorce attorney, after which she started. She took her money out of their joint accounts, and then she slapped Kirk with the divorce papers before he could blink. Here's the gag. Rasheeda isn't simply leaving Kirk. Insiders claim that she is requesting a comprehensive financial inquiry, which suggests that if Kirk was hiding money by spending it on side women or carrying out dubious transactions, it's all coming to light. In court, and let's just say Kirk is unprepared for what is about to happen to him. Kirk can't stop worrying. From enjoying a luxury lifestyle thanks to Rasheeda's achievements, the man may now be facing financial ruin. Reports state that he has already reached out to his attorneys to engage in negotiations, but Rasheeda is unwilling to listen, and who can really blame her given everything that has transpired? The most absurd thing is that Kirk genuinely thought he was untouchable and that Rasheeda would support him no matter how brutally he treated her. But it looks like Kirk will have the largest setback of his life, and trust me, it gets worse because in part 2, it is going to turn pretty ugly when the messy court battle that is about to begins, along with Kirk's desperate attempts to defend himself and the dubious methods he is trying to employ to keep Rasheeda from suing him for everything. People, keep an eye out. Wait, we haven't even scraped the surface yet. If you thought Kirk Frost's death couldn't be any worse. Rasheeda is not simply, at the beginning, Kirk thought he could gaslight her like he always does, smooth talk his way out of this, or perhaps convince her to work things out. However, Rasheeda isn't falling for the BS this time. She is in full-fledged attack mode, and Kirk is doing everything he can to prevent the inevitable. Now, shaken, Kirk is frantically calling lawyers, sending money, and trying to conceal his actions before Rasheeda exposes all of his dubious business practices in court. She's already got the receipts, but the issue is that when a woman gets weary, it's over. First, the mess. Rumor has it that Kirk has been squandering money since he started begging. Contacting Rasheeda's phone nonstop, leaving voicemails, sending long texts, and even trying to talk in person at her store. Rasheeda wasn't amenable to this man's weak attempts to win her forgiveness while standing in the middle of the press. Sources claim that she ordered her employees to turn him away, completely disregarded him, and even had Kirk as no fool. He was certain that Rasheeda would demand at least half of what they had built together as soon as she filed for divorce. Then, what did he do? Yes, this man tried to remove money from their joint accounts so Rasheeda wouldn't have access to it. Security was waiting in case Kirk tried one of his deceptive tactics. Say that in order to keep Rasheeda from getting her fair share, Kirk started secretly withdrawing substantial sums of money, sending money to different accounts, and even moving assets under other people's names. Rasheeda had previously obtained the funds prior to filing for divorce and had her attorneys freeze any accounts that were seen to be suspect, so Kirk is unaware that she has been playing at her best. Transactions and ensured that Kirk couldn't access anything without her consent. Boom refuted reports that his bank had put a hold on Kirk's accounts due to suspicions of fraud when he attempted to transfer that money. Kirk's excessive anxiety now causes chaos. Do you recall how Kirk was trying to launch a company without Rasheeda's knowledge? As it happens, he had other shadies. Kirk was rumored to have been investing in covert operations for years, buying real estate, running side businesses, and even creating fake shell companies to conceal his wealth. Who did you know to find this? All of the data had already been deleted by Rasheeda's legal team, and Kirk is presently the subject of a thorough financial inquiry. Reports state that some of Kirk's alleged companies were actually, they use fake LLCs that never existed but were used to hide funds, and guess what? Fraud, that is. Kirk may be subject to harsh legal consequences, including fines or possibly jail time, if the courts determine that he was purposefully shifting money to avoid paying Rasheeda what she owed. Kirk could not be involved in this circumstance without some strange side lady popping up, as you already know. Jasmine Washington, the woman Kirk had a full child with behind Rasheeda's back, seems to have resurfaced. According to her claims, Kirk promised her money, that he would take care of her and their child, but that money has now vanished. She even said that Kirk was supporting her and their child with Rasheeda's money. For this man has been spending Rasheeda's money like it was monopoly money. And now that his accounts are stopped, and she is fighting for everything, let's not forget about the other woman Kirk was supposedly seeing on the side. Another young Instagram model is coming out to claim that Kirk provided her with financial support. Although Kirk is aware that he is losing, he was not prepared for petty Rasheeda to take over her sister's company, so he will be sorrowful at this point. She's going to take complete control of her money, not merely give it back. Rumor has it that she wants to own the Frost empire, the real estate, and all of the endorsement contracts. Since Kirk isn't the one actually managing these businesses, working hard, and developing the brand, she might even win in court. In court, Kirk is reportedly trying to deny this by claiming that he was involved in the creation of everything. But let's face it, without Rasheeda, Kirk is nothing, and the judge will be looking through all of that dubious money. Acts he committed. Therefore, if it turns out that he concealed substantial quantities of money, his career is done. The last nail in the coffin is that Kirk Dunn has officially lost all industry respect. No one is trying to work with him, invest in him, or even associate his name anymore. Even those who formerly defended him are abandoning him, whether it's in the Atlanta business community or the reality TV industry. Now that Rasheeda is gone, what will Kirk do? People are thinking, damn, Kirk, you did this to yourself, and now he's out here looking like the biggest clown of the decade. His financial situation has deteriorated, and he has lost both his reputation and his money. He's been reaching out to old acquaintances to seek assistance, but nobody wants to be involved in this mess, according to insiders. Without Kirk bringing her down, Rasheeda is doing well, and CIS is already working to rebuild her kingdom. This is not the end, though, because Part 3 will include the last confrontation and legal dispute that might force Kirk to go bankrupt. Stay tuned, everyone, because the real question is whether Kirk will ever get over the spoiler alert. At this point in Kirk Frost's life, he is officially bankrupt, humiliated, and thoroughly cleaned up. Instead of merely leaving him, Rasheeda is ensuring that he never recovers and that Kirk, well, let's just say that whatever ego he still has will be crushed in court. First, though, let's pause and assess the situation. Kirk made an effort to pray. We're in the courtroom, and Kirk is perspiring like he hasn't slept in days, but Rasheeda is looking flawless and composed. Rasheeda attempted to conceal his wealth, but Kirk's side chicks betrayed him. But Rasheeda locked down every successful business tactic, and now the last blow is on the horizon. It's clear from the start of this trial that Rasheeda's legal team, which is full of top lawyers, is superior to Kirk. They came prepared, and they began by presenting Kirk with the financial documents. Recall all the questionable money transfers he was engaging in with the fake LLCs and covert companies. And most of all, they had evidence of bank statements sent to the judge. Numerous emails where Kirk was overtly plotting to hide assets. It is evident how embarrassing it was for Kirk to stutter in front of the court when the judge sees this and immediately begins grilling him. Rashid's team then advances to make the kill. Kirk initially thought he would take at least something with him, maybe keep a couple of the judge ruled in Rasheeda's favor, and Kirk. Oh, this man walked out of court with nothing, along with real estate properties, endorsement deals, and the whole Frost empire. Properties retain some of their investments, or, at the very least, their commercial interests. But Rasheeda isn't being kind. She came to get the entire empire, and you know what she got. Favor on practically everything, but the court granted Kirk speedy possession of almost everything after he was exposed for questionable business operations that involved trying to hide money and violating marital assets. And it gets worse. You heard that Kirk's finances are in utter chaos immediately following his legal defeat. He must repay taxes and pay Rasheeda a substantial settlement. Fees and potential accusations of fraud for all that dirty money moving he was doing. To make matters worse, Rasheeda took both his money and his income because she now owns all of his enterprises. Kirk is looking pretty desperate as he tries to decide what to do next because he has no residuals, investment returns, or money coming in. Now is the time to move before he loses his home. Kirk has reportedly been reaching out to previous business associates in an attempt to get them to contribute to new projects, but let's be honest, nobody is making an effort to get in touch with him following this disaster. Asking, "Sir, what would this show be?" He even made an effort to crawl back to VH1 and Present Concepts for his reality show. About Kirk Frost losing everything in 30 days, including love and hip-hop producers who said, "No, we're good." At this point, Kirk is trying to make ends meet by selling off personal items, but Rasheeda is doing well. With a comprehensive rebranding, CIS has secured multi-million dollars, entered new markets, and relaunched publicity as a big brand. She is receiving magazine covers, brand endorsements, and even rumors that she may launch a skincare and cosmetics brand. In essence, she turned her marriage to Kirk Frost into her greatest professional triumph. Not to mention that the public is entirely in her favor. Dollar bargains are also offered. Admirers have been promoting her glow-up and helping her enterprises. Although Kirk Frost is just mentioned in passing in her success narrative, his name is ultimately over. As a cautionary tale of what happens when you make too many mistakes and lose everything, He transitioned from a recognized music producer and businessman to a reality TV comic. Nobody is looking for him, nobody is employing him, and nobody is pinning him. This mess teaches us that if you have a good woman, don't play with her, don't try to cheat on her, and most importantly, don't be Kirk Frost. Look at him now, broken, embarrassed, and completely irrelevant. While Rasheeda is out there living her best life, accumulating millions of dollars, and we love seeing Kirk make sure she never gets another chance to sabotage her success. Do you believe Kirk can return, or is he done for good? How do you feel about Rasheeda? Do you believe she would be better off without him? Please post a remark in the section below. Click the subscribe button to receive more exciting updates. We went through a lot because, trust me, this isn't the last celebrity controversy we're uncovering. But now, I've heard from everyone. Do you believe Kirk Frost should be brought to his knees, or do you think he will rise again? Should you handle things differently, or is Rasheeda behaving like a boss? Above all, who's wagering on how? I know you all have opinions about this disaster, so please share them in the comments area long before Kirk starts a GoFundMe. To ensure you don't miss another media analysis like this one, click the like button, subscribe for more exclusive updates, and turn on post notifications while you're doing it. Don't worry, we're going to uncover more celebrity scandals, and you know I'm bringing the receipts each time, so stay vigilant, clean up your mess, and wait until we go again.